Hi, xiaouiris here. I'm a choreographer and dancer, and today I'm going to be reacting to NEWJEANS Cookie dance practice. Here we go.
Yeah. 내가 만든 쿠키 너를 위해 주었지 But you know that it ain't for free Yeah 내가 만든 쿠키 너무 부드러우니 자꾸만 더 오르니 나의 초코칩 뿌려 sprinkle in my body에 만들고 싶어 숨기고 있지만 내가 보고 싶어 If you want it, you can get it If you want it, 네 목소리를 더 들려줘 boy 식사는 없어 배고파도 음료는 없어 목말라도 달콤한 맘만 뒤좋던 맘만 원하게 될 거 알잖아 식사는
Oh, I didn't know where to pause it. That was so good. Okay. Do you know, it's really interesting that they all stayed on the benches. It kept a tempo. We have levels in dancing, and they used ground level to an extent, I would argue, but they used ground level choreography. So usually what happens in levels is like what levels are, it goes up gradually, comes down gradually. Or there's impact levels where you're up top and suddenly you drop to the floor, you're down on the floor and suddenly you drop up. What I really liked that they did here was as they moved away from like floor level work, the gradual increased in its tempo and not its visual. So you see that they were bouncing, even though the choreography was simple, they were on their feet and they were bouncing, and that's generating growth in the choreography from the tempo of the song rather than the visual. And dancing is a very visual thing. Like a dancer's purpose is to get the listener to hear beats in the song that they wouldn't otherwise hear had they not had the visual. So just watch the bounce, that the constant up, down, up, they're on their feet, they're moving, they don't stop.
If you want it, you can get it If you want it, 네 목소리를 더 들려줘 boy 식사는 없어 배고파도 음료는 없어 목말라도 달콤한 맘만 뒤좋던 맘만 원하게 될 거 알잖아 식사는 없어 배고파도 음료는 없어 목말라도 달콤한 맘만 뒤좋던 맘만 원하게 될 거 알잖아 내가 만든 쿠키 너에게는 독이지 내 마음속을 녹이지 Yeah Looking at my cookie Yeah 혹시 한 입은 더 다르니 한 입은 모자르니
This, I think, got some really good songs. Like, it was super shy. I've not been able to stop listening to. This is a nice mix of cutesy and sexy, and it's like literally the very, very in between. You know, that fine line between the two. This is where the choreography is. It's a nice balance of the two. It's not too much cute, too much sexy. It's right in the middle.
꿀팁으로 스프링클러 정신 못 차리게 만들고 싶어 숨기고 있지만 나도 보고 싶어 If you want it, you can get it If you want it, 네 목소리를 더 들려줘 boy 식사는 없어 배고파도 음료는 없어 목말라도 달콤한 맘만 뒤좋던 맘만 원하게 될 거 알잖아 식사는 없어 배고파도 음료는 없어 목말라도 달콤한 맘만 뒤좋던 맘만 원하게 될 거 알잖아 Yeah, yeah
That was really interesting dance break, actually. What makes this routine so good is the bounce. Like, if they didn't have that, if you can imagine them dancing without their feet, just bobbing up and down, and it's just choreography where they're just moving, but they're stationed in one place, it wouldn't have the same impact that it's having now. Like, it's so fun, it's so upbeat. Um, and here, the beat count has just been added. So in the dance break, it either goes one of two ways. But I think because there was a consistency in the beat, to keep the balance, I feel like what the choreographer's done here to keep the balance of sexy and cute, rather than have some huge dance break that follows all of the additional beats that have come into this last segment. It brings it out of the feminine energy in dance, and it will move it into the masculine energy, because that's usually what happens when there's so many beats and so much to work with. The stance changes and the choreography becomes aggressive. And I think in order to keep that from happening and keep them in their feminine energy, so that this consistency is like right throughout the choreography, I think that's why it's slowed down when it should have sped up.
내가 만든 쿠키 come and take a lookie 우리 집에만 있지 놀러와 얼마든지 굽지 그런데 나 충치 생겨도 난 몰라 내가 만든 쿠키 come and take a lookie 우리 집에만 있지 놀러와 얼마든지 굽지 그런데 너 충치 생겨도 난 몰라
I have a question. Oh, that was a nice finish. I mean, by K-pop standards, they're a very interesting looking group, because from what I know is they try and like K-pop give their artists like a character, don't they? And they like to distinguish. Um, so you would expect some to look different. They look really simple. Like um, they look like they're allowed to just be themselves. They've not been asked to change their style, cut their hair, dye their hair. Like, it's just interesting to see how similar the five of them look. There's nothing to distinguish them, nothing that suggests that they have a character. And I'm just talking by K-pop standards, because this is something I'm used to. It's like seeing all the groups that I'm seeing, and this group comes along and they just seem authentically themselves, and it's just like, is there a reason that they just like this image wise? I don't know, it's just something I noticed. So thank you so much for this recommendation. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a nice day, everyone.